record. Cool. So then, just to like warm up and get started, let's just like remember some wins.
Okay, remember some wins. Oh, this isn't
Mhm.
one of the questions you sent me before. um, I think that one is just like liking going to the gym.
Mhm.
Like, cause that's something I like never did before. And I was like always like, oh, like I hate going to the gym, like I hate working out. Like it's I don't know, whatever. And now, like, if, like, well, this week, for example, daylight savings messed me up and I overslept by like an hour and then I wasn't able to go to the gym in the morning and I was like, oh, I hate this. Like, I miss going. Like, what the heck? I think that's a cool outcome of the program for sure.
That's awesome. That's how it was for Isabella too. She was like, every trainer
Yeah.
would tell me I need to go to the gym. She's like, but I never want to. And she's like, Odelia, you were the one that got me to love the gym. She's like, now I go to the gym. Who am I?
Yeah. Well, it's like that, or even like little things like, yeah, I go to the gym for the other day, like as I'm like getting stronger and like lifting. I mean, like, granted, now I have like, ooh, like 20-pound dumbbells when I'm doing like these things, which is like still like not all that much, but like more than before. And the fact that now sometimes when I'm there, and there's like all these dudes like lifting weights and stuff, and I can't find any like 20-pound ones because like they're all being used, and I'm like, all right, fine, I'll get 25s, and then I'm like next to this guy who's like doing something with 20s, and I'm like,
Isn't that awesome? It's such an empowering feeling.
I know, I was like, I feel really cool right now. It's weird.
Bro, watch out.
Yeah.
I love that. And that is a great win. Cool. So the first question I have for you is, was this investment worth it for you?
Yes, 100%, probably like 110%, if that were a thing. I was thinking about this one, and like, cause I'm like a penny pincher, and so it was really intimidating when I first talked to you. And like I just kind of was like, oh, that's like a lot of money, blah blah. But then of course, like being a math person, I was like, well, let me like break it down and kind of look at it like how much is it actually like per week. And when you look at it that way, it's like really not very expensive for everything that like you get, like getting like a meal plan and like personalized workouts and being able to like text you with questions literally whenever and having you respond, and like the weekly calls, like it's basically, if you like, I don't know, depending on like what you buy every week, if you like eat out like twice a week and like buy some coffees, like if you stop doing that, that's literally as much money as you need to like pay for the program. It's like, it's really not very much, and it's like totally worth it, and the food that you'll make with the meal plans is like better than what you'd buy anyways, so I think
I love
everyone should
that.
do it. It's not that much.
I love that you broke it down like that.
I know, that's how I like convinced myself to do it. I was like, okay, if I can spend that much money on like frivolous stuff, I can spend that much money on self-care.
Yeah, definitely. And I think sometimes people think that it's going to be like that forever. You know, it's like, oh, I'm going to invest this much, and they have to keep investing. But it's like, if you just spend the time now to really learn the fundamentals, then it's
Yeah.
like, then eventually you don't need a coach. You hire one because you want one, you know, not because you need one.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's also like the other thing, like I feel like I've learned so much that like we were just talking about, like I mean, I want to keep working with you because you're awesome, but like I don't have to.
Yeah. So it's great. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love that you broke it down like that. And so my second question for you is, can you just explain how your life was before? What did you struggle with? Just anything you feel comfortable sharing.
Um, so this one was, I feel like it's kind of, I don't know. I was thinking about this one beforehand too. Like, I think that most of what I was struggling with, slash, I mean, it's still there a little bit, like, it's been more emotional for me, like the program, than physical. I think that, like, and I didn't even realize what, you the extent of what was going on with me. Like, I don't think that I didn't need to lose like 30 pounds. Like, I was pretty kind of healthy, but I had a lot of like deeper like behavioral and thought patterns around food and around like self-care that were like I didn't even realize were there and were really impacting like how I would eat or not eat or what I would what I mean, like those kinds of things that like it's kind of been like this whole program has been a little bit of kind of like realization after realization where I'm like, oh, like I didn't realize that, so much of how I feel about myself was tied to this, or like realizing a lot of like what I thought I had to do or how I was supposed to look or feel is like external and coming from, whatever Instagram post that I saw, like stuff that for me was like very subconscious. And like, so it was like when I started, I didn't even know what the problem was, but I knew that it was like something wasn't working. Do you know what I mean? So like that's kind of one of the cool things with the program is that I feel like a lot of stuff has come up, and it's like, I mean, I'm still, well, like I'm still like working through it, and it's a healing process, but like I don't think that all of that stuff would have like I don't think that my awareness would have developed as much without the program. And I think that I'm really glad that I have the awareness because now I can keep moving forward and like healing those things that I'm still discovering.
Right? And that's why I feel like ignorance is bliss, but also knowledge is power. So I think sometimes once you become aware, sometimes it is kind of like, dang, before I didn't know I was doing these things because of these. So you keep doing it. But it's like, once you become aware, that's when you can really heal. Because then it is like, once you become aware, it's like you have to enter that like tornado, where it's like, it's not fun. It sucks, but it's like once you enter it, it's like you're one step closer to being out. Because once you get out, it's seriously like the best feeling you could ever experience. And I think a lot of people get stuck on like they're not aware. And the more that they can like question and really become aware, they can enter this like tornado that's not fun. But literally like the outcome is so worth it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, of course it depends, everyone's different, but
yeah. I think that makes sense. Like before, I wasn't like I was aware enough to know that like it could be better, which is why I wanted to I think that that's something that like I didn't even realize, and I'm like, well, like sometimes I do, I'm kind of like, oh, like I wish that I didn't realize that, but on the other hand, I'm like, I mean, I'm really glad that I did because now I don't have to be that way, but it's just kind of like change is scary, which is another reason why I'm glad that I had a program because I had like you like there every week and I could be like, oh, Delia, like what's going on? And that like you have gone through like that too, and you're so like open about sharing your emotional journey and healing that was like has been very helpful for me when like stuff gets like scary or whatever. It's not like you're just like, oh yeah, like everything's fine, here's a workout. Like you're like, no, like let's get into it, and that's super awesome.
Yeah, because we're here. I'm here for you. You don't have to do it alone, for sure.
Exactly.
And so what would you say, can you just explain like your experience working together? And just like how, just anything you want to share about just the whole program working together and how it went for you.
Well, it's awesome. I don't want to stop. So I feel like that kind of answers the question. But like, I think that it's just been really cool getting, like I was saying, like getting to work with you and like, I mean, you're like an expert on this stuff. And I'm like so grateful to be able to like have you there to like answer my questions. And like, I feel like I've learned so much, and like, that's the thing. Like, I don't think that I need to keep working with you because you like taught me like along the way. It wasn't kind of like a black box of like, oh, do exactly what Odelia says, and then everything's like perfect. Which I mean, it is like I did what you said and it worked. But like you explained me why I was doing these things and how it worked, and like I'm like I like to know those kinds of things. So that was like really cool. And you're really good at like personalizing stuff and being open to like changing things or like open to just like working together. So it felt more kind of, like working together like a team effort instead of just like a prescription to like fix something, like, which was really cool. And then I also like I really like the community aspect with like the Facebook group, which I thought would be really weird. Like that was the thing I was kind of like, oh god, I don't want to post like an intro video to like all these women that I don't know. Like this is weird. But like that's definitely been one of probably the best parts. Like getting to see other women who are like working on this stuff and like be a part of their wins and be able to support them, but also like being able to share and like have that support. And like there have definitely been times where like at work or whatever, there's like, snacks in the kitchen and I like really want to eat them, but then I'm kind of like, no, like do it for the girls. Like you want to be able to like tell them that you didn't do it or like whatever. So that I think was really cool. It's just like all of those together, I feel like make it a unique thing instead of like, a lot of other like programs where you like read about a diet and like do an elimination diet or like download like this calorie counting app. Like doing it with you was like more of a community thing, and it was just there was way more support and way more like shared knowledge, and that was really cool.
Aw, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Because that's how, I mean, for me personally, I feel like I always felt like I had to do it alone until I realized I didn't. And so I started opening up to more women, and that's why I think like women supporting women is so powerful, just because that's how we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Women have always worked together. We've always been together, and we need to continue to work together. And so I wanted to create that community so you can support each other. And it does add accountability, knowing like, okay, she just posted that she just killed her workouts and I'm here complaining. I'm going to go to the gym or whatever it is just to get support too if we need it, It's like feeling a part of something.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. So what would you say is like the biggest thing that you've gained since joining my program? Or you can share any wins you have, but like what would be like the biggest thing that you've gained?
I think that it's hard to pick like one thing. Probably, I mean, I feel like because your program kind of has like the three aspects of like the nutrition and like actual like fitness, like working out, and then like emotional healing. And I feel like the emotional side, like we kind of talked about, like just having that awareness to be able to move forward and keep like healing that stuff. And, I think that a big thing is like eating to like nourish myself instead of like, 'cause I feel like there's so many weird things around food, especially for like women, I think, men too, but like in our like society where it's like this weird thing of like, oh, I should eat that or I shouldn't eat that, or I should eat now or I shouldn't eat now, instead of, and it so like kind of loses like its purpose of like being something that like nourishes you so that you can like thrive. So I think that that's really cool to like that you take, it's like such a holistic thing. And same thing with like working out to like get strong and like be empowered instead of working out to like be a size 0. And like on the upside, like I did like lose weight and like get like, more like the body type that like I want and like, but it didn't come from a place of like, oh, I have to go to the gym and like punish myself to like look like a stick bug or something. It was just like, I'm going to like take care of myself. And then it turns out that there's all these other benefits.
Right? So it's all about our intention. And it makes it more enjoyable too if you take that pressure off of like, I have to do this. It's more so, wow, I get to. It's like shifting our mindset around it.
Yeah, which I feel like that's like probably, I think that has been like the best part, because I think like you can go to the gym and like, work out to get fit, like to lose weight or whatever, but like it's not fun. And it's not like necessarily sustainable versus like how like everything in the program is like focused around like how do we make this be about like self-love and like taking care of ourselves. And like, and when you come from that angle, like one feels way better and like you actually want to do it. And then I feel like that's what makes it be like, okay, this is like can be more lifestyle because like I love myself and I'm gonna take care of myself, which is cool.
Yeah, and you can sustain it 'cause there's not that pressure. It'll be
Yes.
like this.
Yeah.
You'll love yourself through that whole ups and downs. Oh, thank you for
Yeah.
sharing all that. And so who would you say that program is for, or who would you recommend this program to?
I would recommend it to everybody. I think, and that's like kind of like how it is in the Facebook group. Like it's not, there are like so many different kinds of women in there. It's so cool. Like the age range is pretty big. Like there are like moms, there are students, there's like doctors and dancers, and it's just like it's really cool. Um and I think that, I mean, everyone should do it for yourself because it's awesome, but you should also do it because then Odelia can grow it more and then more people can do it. So it's kind of selfless to do it. So yeah, like I seriously think that I mean, and like even just like talking to some of the other like women in the group, everyone gets something different out of it. Like maybe for some person it is like, you know, they really, you know, for health, like need to lose some weight or whatever. So then you get that. Or maybe it's more emotional, or maybe it's more just like learning. So it's just like there's so much to the program that like literally some like everyone will get something out of it for sure.
Yeah, I love to believe, like, with anything in life, it's like sometimes we want things, but it's like I feel like we always get what we needed. Even if it wasn't like for sure like, "Oh, I want this," you know, but it's like we always get what we need.
Yeah, I would say that that to my experience. So I didn't necessarily want to have all of this, like you said, the tornado, but like here I am. So,
And
and
you're
it's good. It's a good thing. So,
you're a trooper. I feel like life did throw a lot at you all at once, you know, for sure, but I feel like you've just managed you were able to like just go with it, you know, and like show up for yourself, even though sometimes it wasn't fun. But I am proud of you. I feel like you just like showed up strong and I'm excited for you. I feel like you're at the end.
I'm yeah, and I feel like I like was able, like I think that I would not have been able to do that without support of the group. Like I think that a lot of the stuff came up because of the program, but if it weren't for the program, like if the, you know, if something else triggered something like that, like I think that it would have been like okay, time to like numb and Netflix. Like I'm not even dealing with that right now. So it's kind of cool.
No, I'm in Netflix because a lot of us do that
Yeah,
actually on like a real note.
yeah, I'm like that's my numbing of choice. Let's binge some TV series, like whatever.
That was me too, 100%. Oh, I love
Yeah,
that. And
yeah.
so, is there anything else you'd like to share? Just
Um,
overall.
I think that we've covered everything, but
Mhm.
seriously, like, yeah, I think that, well, I guess I think that this program is just amazing for anyone who wants to, like, improve their relationship with themselves and how they, like, move through life because it's, like, I mean, you have to do the work, but, like, Odelia's there and the other women are there and, like, you can totally do it and it's totally worth it. So do it.
Okay, wait,
Yeah.
one last question. For the women who do join or the women who are already in the program, what do you think helped you be successful, or do you have any tips for them?
Um, hmm. Oh, that's hard. I think like just like consistency. Like I mean, there are times consistency and compassion actually. That's what it is because I was like I there were definitely times when I like would like, you know, even still like go to the gym and I'm like, "Oh, like I don't want to." And like, you know, maybe I'm tired or I'm feeling bad because yesterday I like ate whatever or something, but like still like going and then like, and this was the really probably the hardest for me was like being okay when I like made mistakes or like being okay with if I wasn't perfect because it's like trying to think of it more like a journey. Like, okay, yeah, like I was really tired today and I didn't push myself as hard as I could have, but I still showed up and like I still went. And so like being able to like feel good about that, I think really enabled me to keep going instead of getting mad at myself, which is what I would have done before. Because I feel like that just like when you get upset, then it makes it harder to like move forward. So like knowing that like, yeah, like it's not perfect and like maybe last week I lost 2 pounds and this week I gained a pound, but like I still went to the gym every day and I still like I'm taking care of myself even when I'm not perfect. Like I'm getting there.
Yeah,
So
showing up as your own best friend.
yeah,
That's it.
which that's exactly it. Like sometimes I would like pretend like I was, my little sister or like one of my best friends, and like when I start to be mean to myself, being like, "Hey, would you ever say that to Lucy?" Like, no. So why are you saying it to yourself? Like,
Oh, I
chill out,
love that.
Maggie. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Right? Because we
I
have
think
so.
I think that really,
Oh,
yeah.
no, that I love that. Thanks for sharing. Because I think a lot of times we have such high demands on ourselves, you know? And us women, we have our cycle to also consider. So it's understanding
Oh
that sometimes we have our cycle, a lot of demand, and also just like it's getting better, but I do think like our society change, like it affects how we think about things and our body and all this stuff. So it's like we do have a lot going against us, but it's like I love that you said being able to like, hey, would I say this to Lucy? No. So it's like
yeah.
showing up for yourself in all aspects, not just like show up to the gym. It's like when you do
Yeah.
mess up, how do you talk to yourself?
Yeah. Which is like I think I don't know, it's really yeah, it's crazy, especially because I feel like as women, like we're taught to like prioritize other people
Hmm.
um more than ourselves. So like kind of changing that and like you know, and especially like for some of like especially I would imagine like the moms in the group, like what would you do like for your child? What would you do for your best friend? Like you would never like just be straight up mean and be like, oh, I can't believe you ate that cookie. Like you're disgusting. Like no, you never say that. But we say it to ourselves all the time.
Right? No, I
Yeah.
agree. I love everything that you said. And I appreciate you
Thanks.
taking the time. I'm going to stop recording.